We have already learned that an atom is the basic unit or the smallest particle of an element. Also, we know that an atom is not capable of independent existence. So now let us see what are these atoms composed of. An atom consists of nucleus, protons, neutrons, orbits and electrons. Nucleus is the center of atom, which consists of protons that are positively charged particles and neutrons that are particles which do not carry any charge. Orbits are imaginary path that is surrounding the nucleus, where electrons that are negatively charged particles are revolving around. Look into the picture here. This is the representation of an atom. This that you can see at the center is the nucleus of the atom. Nucleus consists of protons and neutrons. Protons are positively charged particles that is represented with a plus sign. And neutrons are particles which do not carry any charge. So protons and neutrons come together to form the nucleus. And these are imaginary paths, or otherwise we call it as orbits, where the electrons are revolving around. And electrons are these negatively charged particles. You can see a three-dimensional representation of an atom here. This represents the nucleus, which comprises of protons and neutrons. Protons that are positively charged particles and neutrons that are particles which do not carry any charge. And these are imaginary paths, or otherwise called as orbits, through which the electrons will revolve around. These red colored balls that are present in the orbit represents electrons. They are negatively charged particles. In our previous class, do you remember we have seen how sulfur and iron elements look like? Now that we have understood clearly what is an atom, let us see how the atoms of sulfur and iron element will look like. This is how the atom of sulfur will look like, and this is how an atom of iron element will look like. Same like the previous slide, this also has got protons and neutrons, protons that are positively charged and neutrons that do not carry any charge. And this come together to form the nucleus of this atom. And these are orbits or imaginary paths through which the electrons are revolving. And these blue colored balls represents electron. Same like that here also. This is the nucleus of the atom consisting of protons and neutrons, and these are imaginary paths through which the electrons are revolving around. Now, we have already seen the classification of a matter. Matter is classified as pure substances and impure substances, wherein pure substances are classified as elements and compounds, and elements are further classified as metals, nonmetals, metalloids, and noble gases. Now we are going to see the classification of elements. Let's begin with metals and nonmetals. In nature, the elements that are present are mainly classified as metals, nonmetals, metalloids, and noble gases. Let us learn these metals and nonmetals by comparing a metal and nonmetal. Metals have got luster, while nonmetals do not luster, which means metals have got a shiny appearance while nonmetals do not have a shiny appearance. As you can see here, gold, which is a metal, has got a shiny appearance or it has luster, while sulfur, which is a non-metal, do not luster. Metals are malleable, while non-metals are non-malleable. We have already learned what is malleability. It is the ability of a substance to be hammered into a sheet. As you can see here, this is the metal aluminium. And since the metals are malleable, it can be hammered into a sheet. As you can see here, this metal aluminium is converted into an aluminium sheet. While non-metals are non-malleable, this is the non-metal carbon, which on hammering got converted into a powder, which means it cannot be converted into a sheet because they are non-malleable. Metals are ductile while non-metals are non-ductile. We have already learned what is ductility. It is the ability of a substance to be drawn into wires. This is the metal copper, as you can see here. Because metals are ductile, because copper is ductile, it can be converted into wires. It can be drawn into wires. This is phosphorus, which is a non-metal. Since it is non-ductile, it cannot be drawn into wire. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, and just opposite to that, non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. So these are few characteristics of metals and non-metals. Elements are again classified as metalloids and noble gases also. So what are metalloids? Metalloids are elements which show properties of both metals and non-metals. Example of a metalloid is boron, as you can see here, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium. These are the pictures of these metalloids. Noble gases. Noble gases are highly stable, so they are unreactive and they are also inert elements, which means they do not participate in any chemical reaction. They are present in the air in traces. Example of a noble gas is helium. Other examples are neon, argon, krypton, etc. I hope that you are all familiar with helium gas. You all would have seen many of the balloons flying high, as you can see here. Yes, this helium gas is the gas that is used for filling these balloons which fly high.